Hey, we are going to look together at Impressionism today, and I'm sharing my screen. Let's get this together from the top, from the top. Okay, here we go. So we are looking at Impressionism from 1870 onward. We're going to look at Monet specifically. We're in France, and when you go to France, you can visit Giverny, where Monet had his house and garden, which is outside of Paris. But again, we're just going to skip to the chase here. Impressionism. So it is really an impression of light, the impression and fleeting moments. So these artists broke the mold. Remember, we have the invention of photography. So no longer do artists have to capture things exactly. So Monet and his cohorts went out into nature and they painted outside, and they would capture different times of day. And they really played with color theory and light, and it was really their impression. And that is where the term impressionism comes from. Let's take a look at this. This is Impression Sunrise, 1872. It's a very quick painting, as you can see. There's quick little brush strokes. This particular painting doesn't have a lot of color, but please take notice of the background. And I'm going to use my cursor here. We see smokestacks. So even though we're in nature, Monet is saying, hey, we're in the Industrial Revolution as well. We've got factories, cities, urban living. And here is just a beautiful painting on the bank of the Seine, and just beautiful colors. Impressionism is really easy to look at. It's lovely. And remember, this was kind of poo-pooed at the time. The French Academy did not care for this style. They did not think it was structured enough. Oh, this is a Manet painting of Monet, which is kind of funny. Manet and Monet. Here's Monet at a train station, again showing us urban life, but a fleeting moment. The train is either coming or going. You can see the steam coming out of the train, the city behind it. And Monet also did repetition with specific sites. The Rouen Cathedral is one of them. He had a studio across the street from Rouen Cathedral, and he would go out and he would paint the same picture at different times of the day. Sometimes he would line up his canvases and he would move from one to the other. And it was to show how the light changed. And I'm going to show you some examples. This is a threesome, and sorry, it's kind of fuzzy, but you can see on the left, it's sort of later in the day, and how the shadows and the colors change with the time of day. And what was great about the Impressionist paintings and landscape painters at this time, when they created shadows, they did not use the color black. If you follow my arrow down here, with the deep shadows in the doorways, they used a lot of deep blues and purples to create really darker tones. And so what does this do when an artist paints the same thing over and over again? It gives them recognition. People see Rouen Cathedral and they say, hey, that's Monet. Got it. And here's a picture of the actual cathedral. Monet also did haystacks. So he would line up his canvases outside and he would paint the different times of day and also the different seasons of the haystacks. Here's a foursome, which gives you an idea. Obviously winter in the top right here. Also know that Monet's eyesight went south the older he got, and so he didn't see things as clearly, and his later paintings got a bit muddy. They weren't as clear with their color. So if you're going to buy a Monet, I suggest you buy one of his earlier paintings. Here's a bunch of his haystacks. And again, repetition. You see a haystack and you say, hey, Monet. This is a picture of Giverny, his house outside of Paris, where he was a magnificent gardener. And in the module, I put a video about his garden in Monet and Giverny. Please watch it. And this is the bridge that he painted over and over again, along with the water lilies. And these are some of his most popular paintings. Okay, so there's a quick look at Claude Monet. I will be putting some information in the module. For the next assignment, I would like you to select one of his paintings and write about what you think of it and why you like it. Give me the title, the date, and maybe a little bit of information about it. But really, do you like the Impressionists? Do you like Monet? Do you not, and why? So that will be your next assignment. It will just say Monet, and enjoy looking at the rest of the module. Talk to you soon.